Good morning, beautiful people, and happy, what is it, Monday? Welcome to the Daily Motivations for African American Success, where we've been coming to you now. We're on 194th day. I want to know, have y'all been finding yourself rocking to feeding the ducks before the show starts? Because I'm starting bopping to the music. I can hear it. Anybody else with me? You regulars, you should be, right? What about you, Brandon? Good morning.
I do mine after the show when nobody can see me.
No, I'm saying so. No, I'm like that beat. I'm starting to hear it now.
Yeah. Well, you play it in the end when we leave, and so after the show is over, it's still playing a little bit, and that's when I kind of bop my head a little bit more when I'm a little bit more.
Uh, okay.
Good
All
morning,
right.
y'all.
Well,
How y'all
that's
doing?
good on this end.
Good, good.
In St. Louis, it's a jury kind of day.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I can't wait to get this good Lee's chicken, y'all. I want the biscuits. Like we were so excited to come, but for me, for the biscuits,
Lee's chicken. I haven't heard of it.
I know I'm gonna bring you some back.
Okay. You're gonna
The
bring me some
biscuits,
chicken back.
the
Okay.
biscuit. I got cooler.
Okay. I will take it.
It's gonna be your birthday present. I'm gonna sing to you tomorrow.
Oh, my birthday is tomorrow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna
I
sing
don't know what
live,
to do
you
about
guys.
that.
I'm gonna sing live, but I'm gonna charge y'all for this voice. I'm gonna sing happy birthday
Ooh.
live to Brandon, and got a big surprise for him tomorrow. Better show up, or it's
Yeah.
null and void.
You got
So
a big surprise for me.
yeah, it's your birthday, right?
Yeah, you always trying to surprise somebody.
I
Well,
got you. Though I got you.
thank you, Mama. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's jump into it. I'll start saying good morning as you work to get me the Instagram. I
All
gotta
right.
be off
All right.
here at 7:30, you guys. Miss Brenda says, "Great everything, great people. Just peeping my head in for a minute, getting ready to go to the park and get this walk in. Have a beautiful day." Hey, Miss Brenda, you could take us with you in your ear. Take it with you. Will be your motivation for walking, right? Put it
Just
on
for me to
loud so somebody
concentrate.
can say, "What are you listening to?" And you could tell them, and then they could come to the barbecue. Big Mike says, good morning. Auntie Richetta says, I almost called you yesterday, Auntie Richetta. I may try to do that this evening. She says, good morning, Butterfly and nephew and family. And then Miss Brenda says, Brandon, my brother's birthday. Oh, it's tomorrow also. He would have been
Oh,
61 years old today.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy
I don't, I
birthday to
don't,
him
I don't
too.
think I. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get ready to rock with it. I'm going to go ahead and get us set up on Instagram
All right, I'm sending
here.
it to you now.
Big Mike, are you and Miss Brenda walking together this morning? Or Miss Brenda, you can answer that as well. Yeah, you can let me know that. So let's see if I got any more comments here. Big Mr. Alvin Williams Jr. is in the house, better known as Big Al Sal. He says, good morning. And then Brenda says, yes, we are. So, yeah, y'all put us on the loudspeaker out there.
Awesome.
All right, so here we go for the Instagram. We should be up and running back your way, Brandon.
To go.
If you want to go ahead and get that set up so we can, there you go. So we can get right into it. So, y'all say good
Okay.
morning as you come in. Thank you for those who already have. Um, like I said, we're going to bring it to you quick and easy this morning.
Where is everyone? Is so Miss Brenda's on her way to the park. Um, where's everyone else at? Y'all at home? Y'all still in the bed? You at work? And I mean, even if you say, I'm at home. What are you up to in the morning? What do you do while you watch this show? Are you doing it? Are you just concentrating on the show? Or are you moving around, getting stuff ready for the day? Let us know in the comments as we begin to start here. So Instagram is Instagram. Instagram is up live. Welcome everybody as you come in to the show. This is what day 193.
Four. I need you.
I'm always one behind.
I know, right?
I'm always on my day 194 of the End This Season podcast. Y'all, welcome. Where on this podcast, we have chosen the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. Uh, we have chosen this inspirational book at first as an acknowledgement of Black History Month and just kind of a diving into the not only our history, but the success that we can draw out of our history, the golden nuggets of knowledge and wisdom and witticisms that we can pull out of our history that pushes us all to more success. Whether you're African American or not, there's a human element that ensures that if you listen and that if you are open to it, you can pull out lessons that can last you a lifetime. Which reminds me of how the book is described on the back. It says daily motivations for African American success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So thank y'all so much for joining us. And anything from you, Mom?
Nope, I'm ready to jump right into it.
Sounds good. Oh, that coffee's good. See, it's always better when somebody else make it. I promise you. When Stella makes my coffee, Mama, it's perfect. I don't even want to read no more. I'm just like, let me sit and listen and sip my coffee. So on today, August 12th, the title is Return to Sender. Return to Sender. And our quote comes from Dolores Jordan, mother of Michael Jordan, who said, I tell Michael, let them know what your priorities are. God, family, doing right, respect. These are the things that are important in life. The way we hope others will respond to us is the manner in which we must express ourselves. Life is a mirror that reflects your expressions. If you smile, you'll see people with cherry dispositions. If you are irritable, you'll find a true picture of your contemptible self. You'll find nothing in the world that you will not find in yourself. Nature takes on your moods. If you rejoice, the world rejoices. If you trust, you are trusted. If you love, you are loved. If you hate, you are hated. You will cast your own reflection. A prosperous young Wall Street broker met and fell in love with a rising young actress. He frequently escorted her about town, hoping to secure her hand in marriage. But being a cautious man, he decided that before proposing to her, he would have a private investigator check her background and present activities. After all, he reminded himself, I have both a growing fortune and my reputation to protect against a marital misadventure. The young man requested that the agency not reveal his identity to the investigator filing the report on the bride to be. In due time, the investigator submitted his findings. It said the actress had an unblemished past, a spotless reputation, and her friends and associates were of the highest repute. The report concluded the only shadow is that she is often seen around town in the company of a young broker of dubious business practices and principles. In his effort to uncover her shortcomings, the young stockbroker exposed his own. Life will send back your own reflection. That leads to the title again, Return to Sender. And our affirmation at the bottom of the page says, Today I will give love, joy, and happiness and await their return. Today I will give love, joy, and happiness and await their return. Over to you, Mom.
I love this one, Brandon. I really, really, really do. It feels like a continuation of yesterday. The eyes have it. My favorite part here is you will, well, two, nature takes on your moods. If you
Mm.
rejoice, the world rejoices. If you trust, you are trusted. If you love, you are loved. If you hate, you are hated. You will cast your own reflection. I had, I saw a post of a young girl, Brandon, our ex neighbor, the oldest daughter over there. She said, don't get in, if you love hard, don't get in a relationship because these people, basically men, are not ready. So I contemplated whether I should respond, but I did. I said, don't get caught up in this hype. There are some good men out there who are ready to love you hard.
When did she say that? She said that recently?
Yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, right? And she's, I mean, a beautiful young girl with a lot to give. And I would hate to see her want to be in a relationship, but have that mindset of, well, there's nobody out here, no guy that wants to love hard like I do. And imagine her perception of that, what she sees even in a good guy that wants to love her hard, she will reject it every time because that's not her perception of what the world or a guy can offer her. So I love the fact return you have to return it to sender, but you have to know that it's not yours. You have to know, don't pick it up, don't put it down. You have to want it and believe that it exists for you to have it and be ready. Truth be told, a lot of us, women and men, I'm going to say women more so, we're not ready for the very thing that we say we want,
Mm.
right? We can't see it. We receive it in the mail, open it. You know, it's like you receiving somebody's mail at your house with someone else's name, and you just continue to open it, expecting it to be your letter, your bill. No, you have to return things that are not for you back to its sender and establish what you want to see. As we talked about yesterday, the eyes have it all. And it said, in search of my mother's garden, I found my own. I was reflecting upon that a little bit in my head yesterday, thinking, in search of God, you'll find yourself. We talk, it's just so many things. And I bring it right back to God. That's why I bring it back for me. We're not perfect people, but I'm telling you, that's the one thing that will bring you some joy, some peace, some understanding of yourself. And when we're battling others constantly, consistently, that means you're still battling yourself. So the most powerful part here is for me, and there's many in this reading, you will cast your own reflection. Yesterday, I asked you guys to just gaze into your eyes in front of the mirror for as long as you can, and then listen to those thoughts that come about as you look into your soul, right? Because it told us yesterday, the eyes are the windows of my soul. What did you see looking in that window? What's behind the window? What is your statue wearing? How is it clothed? What is it thinking? Because, like my beautiful little young neighbor, well, prior neighbor, she deserves love, but she's already saying, don't love hard, which tells me that she believes she does. But if you believe that people are not out there to love you hard, you're holding back somewhere. And when you're holding back, people feel that. And they maybe think, oh, this girl's playing. When really she's just afraid. She's afraid of what Christina Aguilera, the song, Who is the Girl I See Staring Back at Me? When will my reflection show? Right? What's
Mm-hmm.
really inside? Y'all should listen to that song. Christina Aguilera. When will my reflection show what's really inside is what she's saying. So when you see it and believe it. Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. And I remember you listening to that song a lot as a kid. It was on the Disney's Mulan album, right? And it was a soundtrack. I remember you playing that all the time. But yeah,
I
that's absolutely true. One thing I liked in here was that one of the turning points for me was I was wondering what exactly he was trying to protect, or what was his hesitation with the young woman. That I'm talking about the main character here. And he said, what was the whole reason of him finding a personal investigator and doing all this? It wasn't to see if she was the right mate, in a sense, for him personally. It was to see if she kind of fitted or would risk his fortune or his reputation. And I found that really interesting. And I'm not saying that those are shallow reasons, but that's what his main thing was, right? He said, after all, he reminded himself, I have both a growing fortune and my reputation to protect from a marital misadventure. And I understand that as a man, especially in this climate, but I don't think that we should leave it to there. And I don't think those should be the first things. Um, but I do believe that it's interesting that exactly what he was trying to protect and what he had anxiety for protecting was the thing that he wasn't good at, or the thing that he had dubious affairs with, right? So think about, at the end, it says, the only shadow is that she is often seen around town in the company of a young broker of dubious business practices and principles. Right? So that's his reputation, and it can impact his fortune. So the very things that he was looking to protect, he himself was under, right? And even again, in finding a personal investigator to investigate this woman that he's been dating, he's undermining his own sensibilities. He's undermining his own trust, right? Because if she, think about it, if she finds out you've been sending a PI on me, right? Now she might not trust you. Have you guys ever noticed that when people start to whisper, they whisper to you, you start to whisper back,
Even on the phone, Brandon. When
even
if you're
on the phone.
talking to someone on the phone and they're whispering, you be like, "Am I whispering for? I'm not where you are."
Exactly. So this is part of human nature. So we look sometimes for affirmation. We look for acceptance um, through mirroring each other, and it's innate. It's beyond your capacity to really. It's an instinct. You can stop it, but when someone yawns, you also yawn, right? When someone, and so you're not thinking cognitively of or intellectually. Oh, they're yawning. You just begin to yawn. And this is a instinctual defense mechanism of, maybe there's not a lot of oxygen here, right? Maybe we're in higher elevation or something's going on. So when that person yawns, oxygen is so vital, I need to yawn. It's an instinct. It's a response. It's a reaction more so than a response. And so much so to where we find it, funny. Like, look, this person yawned and this person yawned and this person. It's very contagious. Likewise is our internal state, right? Especially with people who aren't, and us, if we aren't grounded, secure, and rooted in our own self control, in our own personality, and in our own gifts and purpose, we can easily be swayed by the winds of the five people that we hang around most. So this also reminds me to be careful the company you keep, right? Because if the people that you are around are projecting these bad, evil, not even that, let's not even take it to that. to that, nefariousness or dubiousness, but more so, let's say anxiety, depression, right? Lack of initiative, right? Lethargy. You guys remember those words that we wrote with failure, the acronym failure, and for every letter there was anger, resentment, whatever it might be, envy, right? So if you're hanging around people that have those attributes and show them openly and express them, um, you know, express them constantly, you know, then you too will start to have those qualities. You will be you will be the wall for which they project and you reflect, right? If you're not careful. And that's because we all have that human nature to do that. So I say, to me, this tells me to not look into the faults of others until I first, and not even in general, but if you don't look into the faults of others and you first worry about your own, you'll never get to their faults, because there's always some self-correction that should be done. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. So who would you be, right? To look at the spot in someone else's eye without wiping your own, you know? So it might be the actual lens that we're seeing life through, the glasses that we're seeing life through, that tints everything that we see, and not how things, and that not might not be how things are in reality. So there may be a difference between our perception and reality, right? Because the reality is indifferent, because between my perception and your perception. The reality is just the way it is, unbiased, objectively, right? But we all see it a certain way. If there are two people at odds with each other, there's his story, there's her story, and then there's the truth, right? So we all see things from our point of view. We all see things in a way that serves us the best. So be careful who you hang out with, and be careful if you ever have an intention to dig into someone else's bad, because it'll end up just exposing your own. So I really like this one, Mom. I really like the 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 internal lesson that you get from this. You remember as a kid, they used to say, anytime you're pointing at someone,
Pointing
you get
back at,
3 fingers pointing back at you.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you're holding a pointer out at someone, I have 3 fingers pointing at me and one pointing at you. And oftentimes, the things that we hate the most in others are the things that we hate the most within ourselves, or that we find um, some type of discomfort and discontent with inside of ourselves. So anytime, if there's that one person, they just, I don't know what it is about them, they just annoy me. Probably because they're just like you in some way. I remember, I won't speak about who it is, but there was someone that they had just met in a group, and they just did not like them. And it was interesting because I thought they would have been friends, because they both talk so much. But the thing was, is they both wanted to occupy the same space. They both wanted to occupy the center of the attention. They both wanted to be the loudest laugh. They both wanted to be, uh, the one leading the conversation, right? And
Be
so,
seen.
hmm,
Be seen.
yeah, yeah,
Needed to be seen.
right. Wanting that validation, right?
Yeah.
And so, since they both had the same need, and they saw the resource as a scarce resource, or something that was finite and that was eventually going to come to an end or run out, they saw each other as competition, right? As opposed to seeing each other as, hey, we're just the same. And even with people that are sometimes more reserved and quiet, they sometimes might not like someone else that's that same way. And truth be told, they we really don't like those aspects of ourselves, or we're uncomfortable about those aspects, or insecure about those aspects of ourselves. The comedian who possibly was picked on as a kid tries to be the class clown so that everyone is laughing at everything else except for them, right? So oftentimes these um these eccentric personality traits sometimes are really just a reflection of how we feel inside, which should lead us to be more cognizant and more take more accountability and more inventory about ourselves and why we express ourselves in this way, why we go about life in this way, and why this person irks us so much. If there's somebody or some person, it might be at work, it might be in your family, it might even be in your own household. If there's some, it could be your child, who are the biggest reflections of us. What? Who else could they blame for the things that they have, they know, they do, they say? They say kids say the darndest things. Well, they didn't learn it out of thin air, right? So if any issue you might have with your children, especially young children, it's usually a reflection of you, right? And the same thing exists out into the world. So let's take a deep dive on when it returns to the sender. Read that name that's on the box. Look at that address when it comes back to you. Don't just send it right back out like, oh no, I meant to send this to so and so. No, that package that you sent was for you. That self-help book that you were going to buy for someone else because they need this, you might want to read it first. Okay? That's all I have.
So, Brandon, really quickly, I found it interesting. So it says the young man requested the agency not reveal his identity to the investigator, right?
Right.
Filling the report on the bride to be. So this couple of things we could take here or think about this, um, that the investigator knew this guy after after following the lady trying to get the rap on her and seeing her with this guy unknowingly, that this is the guy who he's doing the work for. Did he know him, or did he do some investigation on him as well? I also find it interesting that this man who hired the investigator may be in denial about who he is, his reputation,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? He's in denial, thinking I'm the catch here, but he knows deep down he is not trustworthy, right? He is not reliable. Dubious means, let me get here and read it right from the dictionary. Unreliable, right? Doubtful, unsettled opinion, right? So just not trustworthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine he's having this lady he's wanting to marry. He's investigating her character. Why? Because deep down, whether he wants to admit it or not, he knows his character. He knows who he is. You also reminded me of the life languages, um, in their pure form without any people attached to it. Like there's a contemplator. There's some things about contemplators in their pure form, no people attached to it. Because once you attach a person to it, then you bring that person's perception, experience, and how they perceive life into that life language, and that's where it starts to unravel and become different. And that's where you have to individually help that person see themselves so that you can bring them back to a healthy state of who they are, whether it's a contemplator, which we're all seven language. Y'all have to go to Bluff City Leadership to learn more about that. BluffCityLeadership.com. We say that we're all the same, all seven languages. It's just that we speak one language more fluently than we do another, right? But in the pure form of a contemplator, Brandon is an influencer. They're all the same. If you take away the experiences of life that they've attached themselves to and allowed them to become that thing. You know, I was abused as a child, right? So I'm wearing what that shame, that blame, whatever it is. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday, Brandon. The topic was the eyes have it, right? And so we will find ourselves, if we're not careful, as I mentioned yesterday, reliving things that are no longer happening to us,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
projecting those things. Like my little baby girl yesterday that I saw the post, when I think about what she's seen as far as relationships, even in her own household, I can see why she doubts that anybody wants to love hard. But yesterday said, in search of my mother's garden, I found my own. That's why I said yesterday, you can search in the garden, but if healthy relationships wasn't in that garden, leave those things there. How can I have a healthy relationship? How can I choose differently? Right? How can I make a better choice in choosing the right man,
Mm.
a good man, but making sure I am the right woman and a good woman? Because see, he's searching for something that he wasn't. So he's projecting that maybe this lady is just like him, although he's denying the just like him. And Brandon, what you say, what you don't reveal, you cannot heal. So it's just interesting that the investigator is investigating this woman, but he reports back on him. So did he know him? Did he know of his demeanor, his character? Or did he also search this guy in order to find out what this lady truly was about?
I
You
think
know?
that I think
Now,
from reading the book, or from reading that passage, it seems like the investigator that he went to a company and the company didn't reveal
right, right,
his information or his personal information, and so they just investigated in general and saw her with this man.
right,
I was like, who is this guy?
right.
You know. So
So do you think that they maybe did an investigation on him as well in order to determine her character and found out, oh, God, she's great, but the guy she hangs out with is not because the
right,
investigator didn't know who he was. Right,
right, might have been just kind of like peripherally and not like done a deep dive, but said, who is
right,
this? Look up a couple things on him, ask around, and then say, oh, he has this type of reputation.
right,
You know. So
right,
who knows? But I think
right.
that's all we got for you today. Let's want to see what we got in the comments.
Yes, I'll go back and catch us up there. I think I read Miss Brenda and Mike are headed to the park or probably gone by now. Cousin Marco says blessings and favor family. Good to see you in there, bro. Hope everything is good down your way. KL says, hey y'all. I put out there, you reminded me of, I put when someone laughs, we also begin to laugh. I remember a youth pastor, Brandon, you were there. I'm talking like you weren't there when they all got in a circle and he just had this thing where laughing was contagious. Remember, we've talked about that here, how everybody's laughing and we don't know why we're laughing, but it was just kind of nice to see that that is also contagious, you guys. So laugh more. Now the KL says, I just yawned thinking about yawning, LOL. And then he says, no, I rarely dislike people, but when I do, LOL. And then cousin Tracy, yeah, KL is something else. Tracy, cousin, hello, family, love y'all. And then Trent Williams says, good morning, family. And we're all caught up. So good morning to y'all. Thank you for rocking with us. And I think that's all we have for you today.
All right. Well, I hope
Right.
you enjoyed the show. If there's anything else you want to say, you need to go ahead and get it in now. Anything you want to ask, go ahead and get it in now so that we can see it before we leave on the show. But if not, we're going to start wrapping things up. So thank you if you guys have been attending the show. If you've been here a number of times, how many out of these 194 days have you been with us? Has anybody been keeping up with their own score? We've been here, as we say here, on 194 days. As you guys see right over there. How many days have you been with us, and what has it done for you? Leave a comment on this actual video if you can, and let us know. Let the people know that are scrolling through YouTube. What's this about? What do people think about this? What are they getting out of this? Before I sit here and watch this 35, 40 minutes of this show, is there anything that I can look and find real quick? You guys know that sometimes our attention spans are really short when we're scrolling through different videos and different things that we might want to see or be entertained by, right? So this infotainment, this is not just entertainment. This is something that is a self-development tool that we're doing on this platform. So please subscribe, and share this YouTube video and others, this channel. Please subscribe to it so that you get notifications and it bumps us up in the queue, right? So we'll be one of the first ones on your feed when you open your YouTube, and you'll get notifications for when we're going live. So please do that. Send this to somebody, guys, and we're gonna start wrapping this thing up. So on August, let me make sure too that we don't have any more comments. Yep. Alvin said, I've been about a month with y'all. Oh, cool. We appreciate that, brother. We appreciate that. We've been rocking this thing since February. We were supposed to go just 28 days, and we have now been 194 days consecutively. Hats off to you, Mom, because you're here every single day. Every single day, y'all. So thank you for that. Thank you for being there. Well, guys, today was August 12th title was Return to Sender. And our quote came from Dolores Jordan, the mother of MJ himself, the Michael Jordan, who said, I tell Michael, let him know what your priorities are. God, family, doing right, and respect. These are the things that are important in life. After a passage about a young man who found a suitable mate and sent a personal investigator out on her only to find out that she was without a blemish. But the man that she was hanging out with had a couple, had a couple blemishes on his record. Had a couple. Uh, his reputation wasn't all that it should have been up to be. And surely, if he'd have found this out about her, he might have turned her away. But him, and not releasing his own name to the personal investigator, found out that he himself was the greater evil, right? So funny enough. And so we came to an affirmation at the bottom of the page that I usually read 2 or 3 times. I'll read it 3 today. Today, I will give love, joy, and happiness and await their return. You guys can say it internally with me this time. Today, I will give love, joy, and happiness and await their return. And this time, the final time, you can say it out loud. At the bottom of your screen. Today, I will give love, joy, and happiness and await their return.
Hey, Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
I want to, there's a comment out there that I'd like for you to read, but I also, before that, if you're not giving love, joy, and happiness, let it be known whatever you're giving is what you are waiting for, is what you will get back. So it starts us out the way we hope others will respond to us and the manner in which we must express ourselves is the manner in which we should express ourselves. So if you give love, joy, happiness, that's what you are awaiting, right? And you will eventually get it and see it. But if whatever you're getting or giving is what you're going to get back. I'll let you read this comment that's in there's 2 comments there. I'll let you read them.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's like a boomerang, right? Whatever you put out comes right back to you. So the comments are from my lovely wife, who says, "Good day, heart emoji. I start most of my days with this podcast as I do laundry. Thanks for keeping this podcast going. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you. Mostly to the credit of my mom over there. But thank you so much." And she also says, yes, an overly suspicious person is someone who struggles with trust and oftentimes is a reflection of their own shortcomings. You're absolutely right. I found the same to be true. So it seems like this title has and this passage is resonating with a lot of you. Please go out and share this with someone else, whether it be in a direct form of like, go watch the podcast, which is great. We do appreciate that. And we want more listeners and more viewers. But even if you go out and you just help someone with this, or you teach them that lesson and share some of the insights that you've gained today or on your own through this show, please share it with them, and may God give us all the blessings for it. All right. But thank y'all again for being there with us, and we'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, day 195. Y'all go be great today. Give love, joy, happiness.